Little bit of a late start to the morning, and I just figured I'd go live for a few minutes. Let's let some people get up in the room, and we'll talk about what we're going to talk about. But today is a question day for you guys, man. Willing to answer any questions you guys got about tools, about whatever, about clients, about all kind of stuff. And let me just set this off by let's talk about walk-in customers. All right, we're going to talk about walk-in customers and specifically what to do when a client walks in and the whole shop is busy. So I've seen this many times in my life, different shops, right? And I just want to ask you guys how it is that you guys handle this when a client walks in who has no appointment, everybody there is busy, and what do you do? All right. Morning, everybody. Morning, really. Morning, Big T. A whole bunch of people already up in the house. And by the way, man, while there's so many people in the house, I just want to let you guys know there's a hands-on class in Miami. I will be hosting it. It'll first one starts at 10 a.m. There's actually two, and I will be there Monday teaching you guys how to do clipper over comb. So it would be pretty awesome if one of my subs made it there. But let's get back to the matter at hand. So this guy walks in, he doesn't have an appointment, and everybody's sitting there looking at him like, what's this guy's problem? How dare he walk into this establishment with no appointment and then put us under stress to take him? So you got a couple guys looking at him like, what's this guy doing? And then you always got that barber who pipes up, hey, we really busy, man. We ain't got time for that right now. So both of these are obviously wrong, the wrong way to deal with this. And the right way to deal with it, is to make sure that that client understands that you do want to take him and you want to provide that client with solutions. So rather than providing him with more problems, which he clearly already has a problem, he needs a haircut, drove across town to go to your shop, and now people are looking at him like he's got 3 heads, right? So when you get right down to it, the best thing you could do is provide a good solution. Don't say, no, I can't take you. Don't say, no, I don't want to, I got no time, this and that. Go up to him and say, we can take you at 2 o'clock today, or if it is not today, we can take you at 2 o'clock tomorrow, whatever your earliest convenience is. Or maybe you could say, why don't you sit down for a little while? We'll see if one of these guys can work you in. I'll keep you updated here. And just let him see that you want to take care of him. And in that case, he leaves the shop and doesn't think, I ain't never going back there again. Right? Eddie, he's been killing lately. I've been killing lately. What you killing? You been hunting? FIFA Mills says she's Guyana. I'm probably saying that wrong. She's in a barber program. We'll be in Miami. And so is everybody headed to the shop today? Everybody ready to go make this money? Everybody ready to go pull it together and do what you got to do? And the other thing is, how many of you guys are cutting hair at home? And how's your work-life balance? Because for a lot of years, man, I was just trying to scrape it together any which way I could find it, So I'd have neighbors coming over, people who lived close by coming over, people who I couldn't fit at the shop. I'd be taking care of them. And for a lot of years, I mean, that was the right thing to do. I didn't have a family. I didn't have kids. I didn't have to really worry about those things. So I was just kind of scooping it up wherever I could get it. But, as I'm getting older, and especially when I'm getting into different, especially when I'm getting into, just different areas of my life where I'm doing business in different ways, and it really crushes my creativity to have to take a break. Sometimes like I'm editing a video and somebody wants a haircut at the house, and sometimes I'll do it. And it just derails my concentration for the video. Like I got all these thoughts, what I'm doing, what I'm gonna do, what I need to do, what shots I want to add, what I need to go get. And you know, I'll cut hair, I'll come back, I'll sit down, and half of what I had planned or envisioned is gone, and I need to almost like redevelop that. So Jay Visual Shot says, when you were in barber school, did you ever want to give up at times? Jay Vision, let me give you some advice, man. When I was working at the barber school, I seen a lot of people hit this slump. And my guess is you've probably been there for 3 months. Just a guess, but yo, if I'm right, let me know. But you've probably been there for about 3 months. So usually you have all this energy in the beginning, man. You've made the decision to go. You've probably been in indecision for a while. You've been indecisive and you've been thinking about going, and then you convince yourself not to, and then you convince yourself to go. Finally you go and you're like, I'm all in, man. I am all in. And you start to see what it's really about, and you start to question it. Man, I'm not learning nothing. Man, this is a waste of my time. Half the days I come here, you know, the instructor don't do nothing. I mean, I don't even know if I'm going to pass this state board. So it's pretty normal for you to fall into that slump. Or maybe you had a disappointment where you thought that you were better at it than you are, and you made a mistake on a haircut. So what? I mean, when you really get down to it, this is the place where you're supposed to make those mistakes. This is the place where you are going to have those thoughts. And that slump, it's real. You have to push through that slump, because once you get through on the other side, I see a lot of people quit during that slump too. I've seen a lot of people who could have been great barbers, just great people, you know, persons, people that had excellent customer service skills. And sometimes what happened would be they would get a good job that paid them a little more than what they were getting, which is one of the worst things that could happen, because now you're not going to follow through with what you had envisioned, what you dreamed to do. And if this is it, you let that little bit of early success getting that job stop you from the long-term success that you may have achieved if you would have stayed with this business. He said, I'm a mobile barber and my financial status is so much better. That's interesting, man. That's interesting. You know, it's how much do you charge as a mobile barber? Just out of curiosity, because you know, I was just thinking about, like, some people still want me to make house calls, and I have no interest in making house calls, like, at all. Zero. And one of the reasons is it would cost them too much, and it costs me too much. You know, if I got to take my tools out of the shop, drive across town, cut somebody's hair, drive back, even $100 really isn't enough. I mean, $100 sounds like a lot for a haircut, but it really isn't enough when you think about the fact that had you stayed at the shop, I would say most barbershops, especially here, we're probably averaging about $40 to $50 a client, and we probably in all likelihood would have been able to do 2, maybe 3. So he said, Visual said, it makes me feel better that I'm not the only one who felt that way. I appreciate the advice, and God bless. No, absolutely, man. That's perfectly normal what you're going through. And what I would do, you need to reinvigorate your spirit. So what I would do is go to a show, go find out what the show circuit's about to start. You know, there's shows going on all over the country, starting in like May, probably even September. There'll be some CT Barber Expo, any of the premiere shows, Premiere Las Vegas, Premiere Orlando. Like, listen, man, you go to one of these shows and you're going to realize that you're a part of something that's much bigger than yourself, and you're gonna feel connected, and you're gonna feel the fellowship of the other people who've been through all these trials and tribulations, you know, and you'll be able to talk with them, and you'll find out that people are super, super cool at the shows. The networking that goes on there on every level, from just hey, I'm a beginner, I'm looking to get into this, how did you get started? People are more than willing to help you with that stuff. So when you go to a show, I remember the first show I went to like it was yesterday. I actually went to a show in Toronto. I was in hair school. It was like 2003. And I went in there, and there was just like all types of things going on. I mean, the music was loud. All the people there were like beautiful. You had like, I remember there was all these like dancers. Redkin was there. It may have been a couple of them that did this, but at the time they would hire like male and female dancers to dance around in the booth, and it was like really a shock kind of to see all that and to just see how crazy this business is and what the success levels can be. Because I think you're starting to doubt sometimes what you can turn this into. And when you go to the show, for me, it was validation that, hey, man, if this guy did it, if this girl did it, if these people got to these heights, then why couldn't I do it? What makes me any different than them? And when I was, when I didn't have a channel, when I didn't have any, notoriety of any kind, and nobody knew who I was, I'd go to the shows and I would look up at people like Philip Wolf. He was one of the people that I looked at, and I was just like, this dude is incredible. Like, what an incredible platform artist and an incredible person. And, it was like a big moment for me last year when I shared the stage with him at Premiere. I just thought, holy shit. It wasn't very long ago that I was looking at Philip Wolf from out there as a nobody, and now he's shaking my hand, and things are like, in my mind, that was a big moment, and obviously Philip didn't know who I was or nothing, but we became kind of friendly like, and then he gave me some of the neck guards and all that stuff, and those things work, man. Those neck guards, I use them pretty much on every customer, and I gotta say, it's just, I think he's got some really dope combs, and I think he's got some really dope neck guards. But for me, that was like a big moment though, like to share the stage with somebody that I had looked up to, because if you guys don't know my story, I started as a cosmetologist. I was not a barber. In 2003, I was in cosmetology school, and it was like, at first very uncomfortable, and I didn't know if it was the right decision for me. But it was them hair shows that really let me see that, like, yo, you don't have to be gay. Like, I literally believed that, and I think a lot of people believed that back then. Like, I thought that pretty much to be a guy in this business, you would have to be gay. Like, and almost every guy I'd ever met in this business was gay. So when I went to the shows and I found out there was other straight guys that were like cutting hair, I was like, holy shit, I'm not alone. This is great. But like, all in all, it was a great positive experience because there was nothing but beautiful women around and a couple of gay dudes. So, I'm not saying it was the worst possible thing to find myself in, but it was nice to find people there that had achieved success in different ways, and I figured it out. He said, is there an updated version of the Instinct clipper out? I heard the first batch got hot. I don't know where that ever came from. I really don't. I have 4, I think there's 6 Instincts at my shop. They're not all mine. I mean, everybody there bought one, and I have 2. So yeah, there's like 6 Instincts at my shop. Never have one of them got hot. I don't know where people are coming up with that, but no, there was never any recall. There was never anything like that. You see, there's 360 Jeezy said they got hot. It's like, I've never had that happen to me, but no, there's not been any recall. There's no second batch coming. There's no nothing like that going on. I mean, it's possible for any clipper to get hot if you let it run long enough, but the reality is I've never ever experienced mine getting hot. I mean, I probably should do a video on it. I have a heat gun, and I've done this when I've had things that were in question of being hot. But for something to actually be too hot to touch, it has to be, I would say, something like over 105, 108 degrees, maybe something like that. But it is possible. Like, if you're if you're pushing that thing into like a ridiculous amount of bulk for a, you know, unnatural amount of time, I mean, I'm sure that could heat up. The majority of clippers I've ever used will warm up a little bit, but not crazy. Fatal's asking if I'll ever come to Arizona. I wouldn't rule it out. I have a lot of travel planned up this year. But I guess I could probably talk about this now, but I've been developing like a gamma education team, and we are looking for people. But the truth is, the Southwest Florida region, I think we have that pretty well locked up. But if you feel like you might be a good fit for the gamma education squad, go ahead and drop me an email. My email is in the link in the description, or just drop a comment and leave your email, and I'll try to follow up with you. But yeah, we're looking for people. Our plan is to roll this out all over the country. So even if you're in a place right now that we're not rolling it out, I will put you on the books as a potential, and we'll see where it goes. But just to give you guys like an idea of like what it is you guys are going to go around. You guys are going to teach some of my curriculums. You guys are going to be knowledgeable about the brand. You guys are going to be able to host classes, and you know, we have all kinds of classes coming up that you guys would host, and you know, we got a lot of good ideas for you guys, and some great financial opportunities will be made available to you. He said, bring the team to Fort Worth. Hey, what's up, Edward? Yo, I'm ready for another trip to Fort Worth. As long as the golf is looking good, man, I'll be there. But yeah, actually, that would actually be a really fun one, man. That would actually be a real fun one. Said bring the team to Denver. Like once we have the team assembled and everything is, I would say like once I have everything kind of settled in that regard, we're gonna be looking at all types of cool stuff to do. So I think we're gonna have some fun with this team, and you know, it's gonna grow, and we're in the infancy of something pretty big right here, I feel like. So, you know, at the end of the day, I think this is gonna be a real good thing, especially for Gamma and for Stylecraft to be able to provide as much as possible and kind of re-deliver back to the barber, because this is the thing, man. You have to create value within the industry that you serve and that you're in, and this is something that they understand. They understand it well. So we just want to be able to create that level of kind of education, so that when you get trained by a Gamma squad member, it means something. So that's what we're trying to do. There's going to be like a certification. There's going to be all kinds of cool stuff that kind of comes with that. So yeah, man, I'm interested in. Honestly, I've been working pretty hard behind the scenes. It's been a day and night. It's been a day and night type of operation. But if you guys are interested, if there's somebody in this room who feels like they fit, we're not looking for people with the biggest social media followings. We're not looking for anybody crazy. Like if anything, it's just the same way that I look for people who I want to give an opportunity to in my shop. I would prefer to have somebody that I could mold a little bit, because if we are not uniformed in what we are teaching, then what's the point of calling it any particular name, or what's the point of having one curriculum? Like, you know what I mean? Like it has to be a thing that we all kind of follow. It has to be a thing that we all kind of do, and it's got to be uniformed and actually mean something. So, you know, that's kind of what we've been up to here. He said, hey, Eddie, please either close the barber tuition initiative or let us know what happened. Yeah, I know. I got to do something with that. I have, actually, you know what's funny? You say that. I had a, that bank account yesterday, because nothing has ever left or came into it in probably 6 months. Nobody's donated. It's sat there with $1,500 in it. And, you know, the weird thing is I was thinking about closing it, but then I talked to Williamsport, not Williamsport. I talked to a couple different people who were like interested again in possibly donating to it, and then we could bust a move on it. But I need to make a decision on that. You're absolutely right, because people donated about $1,500. So I don't know if I'm just going to buy a bunch of tools and start giving them away, pop up in places, do something nice. But I guarantee I'm going to do something nice for these people. But I really would like to at least pay off one more barber tuition. I think $1,500 is pretty close to enough. And even if I can't pay it all the way off, at least I could do that. So that's the plan. You know, it really sucks that never took off, and it really sucks. It really would have been great if YouTube would have allowed that video. You know, that video got, I don't even think 2,000 views. And I just thought to myself, how on earth could you create a piece of content like that? I had to bring 3 guys. Everybody donated their time. Everybody donated their tools. Like, it was so many people that came together to pull that together. And then when that happened, like, you would think that YouTube would allow that to get some views. If that could have got some views and some traction, I could have went to pretty much any barber supply or any company or anybody and said, hey man, help me out with this thing. And they would have been like, oh yeah, hell yeah, here. Because like, really, what is $1,000 to that type of publicity? But there's no publicity. So like, I totally understand it. So it just sucks, man. It sucks. Hey, if anybody tried out the flex trimmers yet? I got them with me. And I've been using them for a couple of days. And I don't know, I got some mixed feelings about them. You know, when you use the Saber, it's like, it's tough to beat. But I can say the flex has some upsides and it has some downsides, and pretty soon I'm going to be dropping a review on that. I also have the blur guard. I plan on trying to use that today. Yesterday I got some beauty shots of the blur guard, so we'll get it going. Josh said to swing through Kentucky and do some education there. And yeah, I just might have to do that. Fatal said, let us know the truth about the flex trimmer. What truth are you talking about? Like, you say that like there's some type of conspiracy behind it or something. Or maybe there is. I don't even know, man. He said, would you recommend me buying a second clipper like the Magic Clips? I currently use the Wall Seniors. I would say, visual, I would say that it would be really nice. Actually, if you watch my last Industry Secrets video, you'll see that I work with 2 machines, and I do that because I want one with a taper blade and one with like a fade blade or a vapor blade. And that allows me to hit every single length I could ever want. And I also work with 2 trimmers, one that's pushed up really high and it's really sharp, and one that's set back a little bit. So now I literally have everything covered all the way from skin. So if you want to buy a second clipper, you know, by all means, I think that would be how you should set it up. You know, Desmond, I don't really have the answer to that. He's asking if the flex is a replacement for the hitter. I don't believe the hitter is getting replaced by that, but I don't have the answer to that 100%. But yeah, I would say the flex trimmer probably, it's like the hitter, but it's a lot more powerful. When you're debulking with the flex trimmer, like, these are just like my initial thoughts. When you're debulking with the flex trimmer, it will definitely get hot. Like, and I'm talking about doing something you really shouldn't be doing, like, you know, removing all the hair on the sides of the head with it, that type of stuff. So when you get down to it, it does get a little hot when you do that. But the other downside to it was the light for me, the charging light. I would probably cover that up with a grip, because that charging light is so bright. I was using it the other day in the garage cutting a customer, and maybe that's probably why it was that much worse, but it was kind of dark in there. And when I turned it on, dude, that little blue light with the telling you how many bars it has, it was super bright, like, to my eyes, and I couldn't really say I like that. But the shape of it and the feel of it and how well it actually cuts quite well, especially under the neck. Under the neck, the line I was getting was pretty crazy good, and I was really pleased with that. So I think if you're buying it to remove tons of bulk, probably not a good move. If you're buying it to make sharp lines, absolutely, it will do that without a problem. I definitely would say it's better than the hitter. If you are in a dark room and you turn that on with a full charge, that's all 3 bars, dude. It'll literally light it up like it's daylight in there. I did that right before I left. I was like, this is so bright. It's like a flashlight. I mean, if you lose something at night, you could turn this on. So yeah, there's that. But the solution I would probably go ahead and do when I get to the shop is I'm just going to throw a rubber band. That way I cover that up, and then that's not a problem. Other than that, I probably wouldn't remove like a ton of bulk with it because, like I said, it will heat up. But it's a pretty nice trimmer though. All in all, I gotta give it to him. That motor is super strong. I'm not 100% sure if it's a super torque rotary motor. It more than likely is. And at 2 o'clock today, I'm releasing what I would say is kind of like my final instinct video. This entire video was paid for by Gamma Stylecraft. So keep that in mind before you crash me on this. And I do have a couple of Babeless reviews that I plan to do coming up. I got all the matte black ones, all that stuff. So I'm gonna be doing some reviews for other brands too. So Ed's asking, is there any info on whether the new Vector motor will be introduced into an ergo? Oh man, dude, that's the first I've heard of it. And if that's really happening, I think that would be so cool. But as far as do I know about anything like that, I'm not aware of anything like that, and I'm telling the truth too on that one. Mike Hawk was asking the same thing, so I don't know if that's really happening or not. If it is, I would be excited to see it. I would be excited to see it. What's up, Marco G? Yeah, I mean, you just saying that kind of made my mind go like, oh shit, that'd be a good idea. That'd be a real good idea. I mean, if it happens, I guess only time will tell. We'll see. I am aware of a couple of things happening, but I can't talk about them. But I can tell you that if that's happening, I don't have any knowledge of it. So we'll see, man. I'm excited to see what's going on here. I also have a Sabre video that I more than likely will release Monday as my normal upload. As Monday, I'm not going to be able to do too much because I'm going to be in Miami. So I taught that same clipper over comb class in Fort Worth, and I'm looking forward for another run at that Dallas Star. I want more smoke with that. I didn't play too hot there. I need to get it together. I'm playing real good right now. And tell Rafa I said what's up, man. Hopefully he's still out there getting a couple of sessions in with the golf clubs. And tonight my son's got a pretty cool tournament. It'll be the first tournament that I think he could really win. It's like a 4-hole junior tournament, so we'll see how he does. I don't want to put too much pressure on him, but we've been working really hard, and he's really got a great chance to win tonight. So I hope that happens for him. I think it'd be big for him, but hey, if it doesn't happen, he's gonna get his sooner or later. I told him that already. I was like, he was all worried this morning when he woke up. Well, Dad, what if I don't win? I said, Shane, who cares if you don't win? I mean, really, who cares if you don't win? All I care about is you go out there, you focus, and you try your best. And whatever will be, will be. He was like, all right, Dad. We got ourselves here, so that's how far we going. He said, making me jealous with golf talk. It's 73 degrees out here today right now. Yeah, it's 73 degrees out here right now. This would be a perfect morning to be out golfing. But the good news is we'll be there. Marco G, I just spent like 15-20 minutes talking about the flex the flex trimmer. Just, you know, just a little talk about it. I'm working on my review of it, so we'll get down to it. But I got it with me today, and I plan to shoot, you know, some video with it. So we'll see what happens. But, you know, just to sum it up, I would say it cuts pretty good. It gets a little warm, and the charging lights are a little bit obnoxious. I would cover them with the rubber and keep cool care on deck. And other than that, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. So I'm pulling into the barbershop right now, y'all. I got a customer supposed to be here pretty soon, and I'm trying to film some stuff for the blur guard because I got one thanks to Chad. I wasn't even going to buy one, to be honest. I didn't know nothing about it, but Chad bought me a blur guard, and he goes, yo, do a video on this. And I was like, okay, cool. So we'll see if that thing works as advertised. But I did take some beauty shots of it under the probe lens. And if you guys want to see how the blur guard actually works, I would just say stay tuned, okay? Because I got some really close-up shots of it, and you guys can kind of see exactly what it is and how it functions. And yeah, we'll see how it shakes out. But all right, you guys, if you're gonna be in Miami, man, Miami, 10 a.m. Monday, look me up, man. Flamingo Beauty Supply. We're gonna be there teaching that clipper over comb class. It's gonna be hands-on, and we got mannequins for y'all. So I'll catch you guys in the next video. All right, peace. Sorry.